Alright, so today we'll be learning about synonyms and antonyms. So what I want you to take away from this lesson is that you'll be able to understand the difference between a synonym and an antonym and apply that information to differentiate between the two. So for example, if a student were to ask you tomorrow what the difference between a synonym and an antonym were, you'd be able to tell them, just like if I were to ask you as well. I'd also like you to be able to create your own examples. So later on in the presentation, I will have you create 1 to 2 antonyms that you'll bring to class to you tomorrow. They're just for sharing, kind of see what you guys came up with. And then also you'll be asked to match corresponding words throughout the presentation. So when we're talking about synonyms, I will ask you to match these synonyms that I provided, and we'll see how well you did. All right, first up is synonyms. So a synonym is a word that means exactly the same or close to another word. So for example, if you were to close your door, you could say that you shut the door. Blow up, or explode. So if you were watching an explosion, you could say that you heard it blow up or you saw it explode. If you were going on a trip, you could say that it was a spontaneous trip or that it was unplanned. Basically, synonyms are a replacement word. You could say they kind of mean close to the same. So, for example, you could say that your room was dirty, or it was unkept, or if it was, dark out, you could say it was nighttime. They're just words that mean close to the same without repeating the word exactly. So what I'll have you do is identify and match the words. So what I want you to do is, for example, brave. I want you to tell me a word that means close to that word. So brave would be heroic. So what I want you to do is just pause the video, and I want you to write on a piece of paper, the matching word synonyms. And then once you're ready and have them all matched, I want you to come together, and then we'll go through them one by one so that you can check your answers. So go ahead and take a minute and pause it for me so that you can go through that. All right, so if you're back, that means that you've successfully matched the pairs. So we already matched brave, which we said was heroic. So next will be assist, and then assist's pair is going to be help. So if you were to say you were going to assist your mom with the groceries, you could say that you helped your mom with the groceries. Next is trip. So a trip would be journey. You could say that you went on a trip, and you can say it was a journey as well. Next is write, and write will be record, followed by tidy. So if you were going to tidy up your room, you could say that you neatened your room. Followed by, terrify. So if you were at a haunted house, and you could say that you were terrified or you were frightened. So I'll give you a minute to take a look, check your answers, see how you did, and then we will move on to antonyms. So an antonym is a word that means exactly the opposite or close to the other word. So, for example, the opposite of dirty would be clean. The opposite of weak would be strong. As you can see, this man right here would be weak compared to the strong man holding a bunch of weights. Sick would be healthy. We could say the opposite of cold was hot. So what I'll have you do is, again, stop the recording, and what I'll have you do is give me the antonyms of small, old, and frown. So what I'm going to do is pause the video, take a few minutes, and write down your answers for those. And then when you're ready, go ahead and press play, and we'll come back. All right, so if you press play, that means that you have your answers for the antonyms of small, old, and frown. So the antonym of, or opposite, of small would be large. The opposite of old would be young. And the opposite of frown would be smile. Now, what I'm going to have you do is either right now, you can pause the video again and create 1 to 2 antonyms that you want to bring to class to tomorrow, or you can wait until the video is over, and you can also do it then, up to you. So now the lesson has concluded and you succeeded in matching the synonyms and antonyms. So what you can do now is you can either focus on writing your antonyms, or if you feel like you need a little bit more practice, you can go to one of these 3 websites that I provided, which would help give you more, maybe some antonyms that you might want to choose to use for tomorrow. Also, if you're unsure and want more practice, or you think that maybe using a game would help make sure that you grasp the concept really well, go ahead and take a look at those, or at least one of them, and then make sure that you bring your antonyms 1 to 2 with you to class tomorrow. And of course, if you have any questions, make sure you ask me tomorrow. All right, I will see you then.